First of all, how you guys doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed.
Good.
I'm blessed.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de
I'm
Drinko.
drinking my water right
Cinco
now,
de
but later,
Drinko.
different story later. All right, High Seat family, we doing something different today. All right, for the first time, we got a special guest. When I say special, we got a really special guest. All right, so let's get into it. We have, first of all, Inglewood legend. Let's just say
Yes,
that
sir.
right there.
Yes,
Inglewood legend. We got a Sarah legend. We got a University of Arizona legend. We got the NCAA record holder for single yards for a quarterback, rushing yards in a single game. That still stands, by the way. All these quarterbacks running, this is the record holder, all right? And of course, my friend since for a long time, we got Khalil Tate in the building, y'all.
Hey, appreciate you coming on the show,
thank
man.
you.
Appreciate you.
It's an honor to be here, man. It's an honor to be on the platform and be able to express myself as well as have good conversations. So
so you are our first guest in this new format. We're trying out, just talking to people who's doing something with their life, whether if it's athletics, if it's music, or just some business owners, anybody who's doing something that's against the norm. We want to talk to them and let them share their story while we also build ours. All right.
Right.
So yeah, man. First of all, I mentioned you're from Inglewood, but let's talk about your background a little bit. Inglewood, your introduction to football, what did that mean to you growing up?
Right. So yeah, I'm from Inglewood, California. Played for all the different Inglewood teams growing up, whether that be Darby Park, Centinela Park.
Centinela.
Yeah, grew up in Inglewood, local kid. I also played travel basketball.
Oh, so you're a door athlete?
Yeah,
this is who taught me the rondo move.
Oh, wait. Hey, did you play basketball, Sarah, too?
I played basketball my freshman year, and then I played JV my freshman year. We won state, varsity they did. After that, I was like, I gotta
focus in on the football.
Yeah, but from Inglewood, so local kid. Grew up in Inglewood, playing all the different sports. Always been around sports my whole life. I started playing football when I was 4. I can remember, my brother, he's 3 years older than me, but I can remember him being eligible at the age to play football. At a certain age, you can't play yet. So he would be on the field, be playing this stuff, and I'll be like on the side, just not on the team, but trying to mimic what they doing. So I was that kid.
Yeah.
And eventually, the coach would end up, just letting me go last at whatever they're doing. So, always, grew up, had humble beginnings, but always been around older people. So always had to figure out a way to adapt to, the situation, the environment going on. But local kid, ended up going to Sarah High School, which was in Gardena. So that was
So you spent time with the Inglewood Jets, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows, even if you don't play football, if you're not from LA, you know about the Inglewood Jets.
Inglewood Jets.
They probably got documentaries about them. They got the Odd Job documentary, I believe. So what did Inglewood Jets teach you, and how did that prepare you for higher competition? Because Sarah obviously was higher competition.
Yeah.
So
playing Pop Warner for Inglewood was big. Just playing for an organization or Pop Warner that was so well respected. Always have a lot of good players, whether that be football, or even cheerleading. I know they always do well during jams.
The Vegas competition.
On the Vegas and things of that nature. So it was helpful. I think we grew up in a time where it wasn't that social media wasn't really a thing, but it was also just kids being kids. It wasn't what's going on now as far as trying to be whatever that you see. It was kid. And we also had some amazing volunteers that were able to help us and coach us. It wasn't a lot of the daddy ball that's going on now. It was real older gentlemen that wanted to help these kids and win games, of course, but also help these kids and shape them into just instilling those pillars. Being disciplined, showing up on time, just doing what you're supposed to do in order to end up getting the same goals. So I credit a lot of guys there. Gary Bass was my coach, Rick Harris, Sam Cassell, and
Sam Cassell?
Yeah. No, not Sam. Not that Sam.
Okay, yeah. But I was he was in the football too.
But also Will Roebuck, he was the president for many years. Him and Will just recently passed away. So
I met him through Jalen.
Yeah.
I met him through Jalen. Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, man, it was just a lot of good people around at the time. You know, a lot of people that wanted the same goal. You know, all wanted success, and all our parents wanted their kids to be around other kids that, you know, were just trying to do good and, you know, use everybody in unison in order to get a championship, which we won a good amount of those.
Yeah. See, I try to tell people how important organization is, a good organization. You know, we got good values. Like, because I played for the SC Falcons out of Harvard Park, and we had our T-shirts, and they had 10 old school values on it that we used to recite every day, before practice, after practice, before game, during practice. And it was like, it kind of instilled character. Like, obviously, great parents too, because I mean, I know your parents. You have great parents, but the organization. Sometimes you don't want to hear your parents, but your coaches. You're gonna hear your coaches. You're gonna hear the president. You're gonna hear the volunteers. You're gonna hear your teammates. Like, they gonna ring to you. So yeah, 100%. That's why I wanted to talk about the Jets, because I know that's character making there.
It's important. It's important who you put your kids around at a young age. You know, you know, like I said, now, you know, just with all these kids having so much access to phones, it's like
just takes them away from real life.
You got to battle with the real life, but also, you know, the phone, which is a lot more influential than the person.
It raises the kids.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah. Good times.
Yeah, my little brother, he played for the Inglewood Jets as well and everything. Just the organization, like, you know, it was
real togetherness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Pop Warner in general, back in the day, I can't really speak on it now because I'm not really around it. But just I never played football with my brother. You know, seeing that and everything, just like you said, them teaching you guys character, you know,
core values.
Yeah,
that
just all that. I feel like that's kind of missing in today. You know, and I just haven't really been around Pop Warner to say if it's the same or not, but like you said, social media and everything changes.
It's kind of like how AAU basketball is taking the basketball out of it.
Yeah, it's just like
now it's about highlights.
Yeah, it's just about making a clip for TikTok or something like that.
It's different now. Yeah. It's different now. Yeah, it's a whole different game. So you talked about Sarah though. Let's get into that a little bit, because you like, we used to talk about Sarah every day, because like we was in middle school, you know, Sarah was Robert Woods, it was Marquise Lee, you know what I'm saying, Jalen Green,
George Farmer,
exactly. I forgot about George. Oh my god,
that's my boy. Yeah.
George Farmer, bro. George Farmer was probably the best one in high school.
He was, yeah. He's actually a trainer now too, FYI, just in case anybody wants to find a personal trainer. He does do that. So
that's a good plug. We're gonna have to stamp his. We're gonna have to stamp his Instagram in the description.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I remember George. And he started having injuries, man. I felt because he was special. But then you came in, because you were on the campus with Adoree, right? He was older than us, but.
So, I mean, for me, like, I've been around Sarah my entire life. Like, my great uncle went there. He graduated in one of the first few classes that Sarah had. My dad graduated in 86.
That's right. Your dad and Mr. Davis go back. Remember Mr. Davis?
Yeah. My brother graduated in 2013.
So Sarah was just in the family.
Yeah, and then my dad, he also taught summer school at Sarah. Before I was there, before my brother was there. So I remember one of the years he had Robert Woods as a freshman in one of his summer school classes, and he had George. And Robert Woods used to play for Carson, right? So I would always I was a little kid, but I was
always around
talking mess, like, you feel me, like Inglewood, you feel me, like y'all whack, whatever.
that was Carson coach, right?
Yeah. Woody played with the Carson coach, but he was older, but I just, I knew it was a rivalry, whether no matter what level you at, it was always a rivalry.
Exactly.
I remember being like, I think I'm assuming I was maybe like 7, 8. And he was probably 14, and I just remember, like, talking like, I'm in a summer school class, just talking like, man, we about to.
So you always had that chip on your shoulder.
Bro.
So
Pop Warner football got them real rivalries, bro. Yeah. It's just like high school, just like college, like Inglewood, Carson. We about to knock y'all out. You had the Baldwin, teams, the Baldwin Bruins. Like our rival was Crenshaw. My rival was always Crenshaw. We hated them,
and it was real rivals because, like, it wasn't a way to, like, access them via social media, which is like
rivalries on the field, or I see
that's
you,
it.
You know.
Yeah, most rivalries now is like, they said this about me, like, it was like you only gonna see them on the field, so that's your only time.
Exactly.
Talk your once or twice a year. Yeah, them games are always different. Like,
I wanted to ask you, As far as like the difference from Pop Warner going into high school, do you feel like it was a like the skill gap or not the or the competition? Do you feel like it was a big how do I put it? You feel
Big
like
difference?
Yeah, do you feel like the difference and everything, or do you feel like you was prepared? You feel like Pop Warner got you prepared to play for high school and everything?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think playing for Agdraft, it's Orange County Junior All-American. I mean, obviously they aren't around anymore. I don't know if you guys knew, but their core teams went to Snoop League. So like
even the Snoop League, that was
Carson is in Snoop League and Baldwin Hills, they're all in Snoop League now. So back then it was like Agdraft was, probably the premier league. But yeah, I mean, just playing against, different guys, against Baldwin, against Carson, and also Orange County, playing against the Mission Viejo Cowboys, South Orange County. So just playing against those different teams that, were all like really good, it was helpful, and then when you get to high school, you're playing against those guys, the guys that aren't as good. So, having success in Pop Warner, winning, going to multiple championships, winning, it was relatively easy. And also too, like even with different divisions, when I was in Pop Warner, the older kids, a lot of them would go to Sarah, etc. So it was kind of like a feeder, as far as Inglewood, and whether that be Inglewood, Baldwin, Carson. It was just always a feeder. So I mean, I feel like growing up, I played against the best talent around. So definitely high school.
So you're going to high school, you're not playing people as good.
If I'm gonna play against you again, I'm gonna play against somebody that's lesser. I would think. So it was.
That is true.
It wasn't that big of a transition. I think too, like Sarah, we've always been good, but a lot of like good players from those other Pop Warner teams went to Sarah.
Okay. So you was playing with all the good players as opposed to going up against them. Okay.
Right. Why isn't it was whooping everybody ass?
Sarah was always the team where I'm like, man, it was cold. Like just going to y'all games and stuff. You guys were always you guys in Narbonne. Like,
man, I always heard the games were fun. Obviously, I never got to partake.
You couldn't experience
in the crowd shenanigans. But
I mean, you was basically a celebrity though. Like, how does that feel? Just being the man after the games and everything. I'm like a celebrity at my school and everything. Basically,
I think. At the time, I mean, I don't really. I mean, looking back, I can say that it was crazy. But at the time, I mean, I was just so like, just being a kid, not even like just being a kid. Like it wasn't. I didn't see it as like, ooh, I'm like this. Like nowadays, you could probably see how to feel that way. At that time, it was like At that time, it was like I knew I was one of the more popular people. Whether I go out somewhere to a event or something, but like that. Other than that, I mean, it was humbling. Like I said, I think also it helped too that like I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
There's multiple people on my team that, if not the same, are better, or, have more offers, etc. So it was, I don't know how to put it, but it's not like I was out of school that wasn't too good, and I was just.
And you were just the outlier and everything. Okay,
right. I was out of school. I was really good, and it was like I'm one of multiples that we got. So it's like it was humbling.
That's something I wanted to ask you. That's something I wanted to ask you because about Sarah, right? Like you said, you wasn't the only one. So
right.
Did it ever feel like pressure trying to break through? Because I mean, you were at Sarah the entire 4 years. Right. And Sarah was just cranking them out every year. Right. You see it. They sending half the team to D1 school, and then even if they wasn't going to D1, they was going somewhere else smaller. Everybody was going somewhere, and then you had the Pac-12 was going all through Sarah. So you ended up in the Pac-12. Shit, like. So what was it like when you got your opportunity to be the starting quarterback? Because quarterback is the shit.
Yeah.
You were a junior when you took over starting quarterback, or were you a senior?
Halfway through my junior year,
because Caleb was there, right?
Yeah, and even that situation was tricky because so I was freshman year I played JV. Freshman year I played freshman. To all the kids out there, I played freshman football.
Yeah, that's how competitive Sarah is right there.
Yeah. Played freshman. And I got moved up at the end. But my sophomore year I played JV because we had Jalen Green. My friends, he was at Sarah. And he was the starting quarterback. So, I mean, with him being a starting quarterback, obviously I was back up. But we grew up, he literally lives like a block away from me. So it was a point where like I would go to school with him, et cetera. So that sophomore, it was good. It was humbling. We went to went to the CIF championship. I think we lost to Chaminade. They had Brad Kaya, who ended up going to Miami.
Chaminade. Oh yeah, I remember. Chaminade was straight for me.
Terrell Newby. But I was the backup, so I was chilling. So the new year came, and then the off season, I'm thinking, Jalen had left. I'm sorry, he left and went to college.
Yeah.
So
Jalen ended up at SC, right?
He ended up at SC. Yeah. He had been committed to Boise. Then Chris Peterson went from Boise to Washington.
That's right.
So Jalen went from Boise to Washington as far as commitments, and then he left early actually too. So he ended up leaving early and going to SC, which was closer.
Right.
They ended up moving this position. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah,
we were talking about you becoming the starter.
Quarterback.
Yeah, so then my junior year comes. I'm like, I should be starting. We go spring ball, whatever. And I hear like this chatter, like we supposed to be getting another quarterback. So I'm like, what y'all mean? Like,
you got me right here.
And this is at a time.
You paid your dues at this point already. You already paid all your dues.
It's my time coming up now.
Exactly. This is at a time. I think it's 2013 going into 2014. So this is at a time when Cam Newton is like, he's really big. He's at he's doing this thing. Mm-hmm. So they're like, yeah, man, we got somebody that's coming in. He like Cam Newton, like because they're talking about Caleb, my friend Caleb Wilson, he's
Caleb's big.
And at the time, that's in high school, that's like a monster. Now we got this dude coming in, yada yada yada. Like he gonna come in, like he probably gonna start. I'm just confused. Like, is anybody gonna tell me what's going on? So he ended up coming in, and we were splitting time. We split time like the first 5 or 6 games, and it like basically how we would do it is he would start the games, and then I would come in like for red zone. And I scored most of the touchdowns, obviously, but I think we lost a game to I think Bellevue, who was like at the time they from Washington. They hadn't lost a game in like a lot of years on some like De La Salle.
Yep.
And they ran a wing tee also, so it was a whole different But we lost to them, and we didn't lose. We didn't get blown. We didn't put up a lot of points. We played in the Honor Bowl, which is in San Diego, and basically after that game, like everybody on the team kept saying like we got to figure out. That's the chatter, like pick somebody.
Situation.
Somebody, like doing the both is cool, but like we got
that gets messy.
Right. So after that game, I forgot what conversation we ended up having, but I ended up starting. We moved Caleb to tight end.
Oh, so he switched
positions. Yeah, that was probably the best thing to happen because after that we ended up averaging like 45 points a game, like 500, 600 yards of offense. So it was obvious that I probably should have been the one initially that was there. And then Caleb ended up also getting enough film to go to USC, and then he ended up going to UCLA. And
so it was beneficial for both of you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but at the time,
Caleb still got that size now.
In high school, you still play in high school, and you can move.
And he bulked up. I remember watching him at UCLA. That he gave everybody problems.
Right. So just imagine in high school. But no, that's what happened in high school. And then, he ended up doing well. And then we ended up playing against Corona Centennial in the playoffs. It's crazy because we were in a 3-way tie in the Mission League. We were a 3-way tie with Alamany, Chaminade. Us, Alamany, and Chaminade. 3-way tie for first place. Do a coin flip. Right, we come in last place. Right, so then we the third seed. Right, we number 1 seed, but we a third seed.
Just off a chance, though.
Which is why we play against Centennial, which is like one of the best teams. But for us, we wasn't worried about them at all. Like we said, that's easy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We ended up having a shootout with them, so we ended up losing 68-64. No overtime.
What?
And I had a few friends that I ended up going to college with. I played on that same team, like JJ Tate, Chacho, etc. So we ended up.
JJ was a running back, right?
Yeah. So we always talk about it, but it was crazy because I remember Eric Sondheimer saying like whoever wins this game is gonna like win the CIF. I think they ended up being possible because both of our offenses were too good.
Scoring 68 and 64 points is insane. No overtime. Like that's insane.
And don't forget this part. This is against defenses with college players.
Yeah, that's insane. This isn't. Yeah, that's insane. And this is your senior year.
This is my junior year.
This is your junior year.
Junior year. So then we ended up going out in the first round. It was,
And it's just off a chance that you.
I mean, granted, too, it's weird because I mean, like they moved us from the division that we were in to the Pac-5, which is like at the time it was like all the biggest teams, the Poly, all the biggest teams. So I don't know if you guys know, but with divisions, how it's supposed to go is it was supposed to go based off school size, enrollment.
Yeah.
Our school is
it's a private school.
Our school we got maybe 300, 400 students, right?
Yeah.
And the teams that we playing against, like Centennial, et cetera,
public schools,
public students. So it's supposed to be based off enrollment, but we were doing so good, in the previous years, that was like, you know what? I just put them in the open or Pac-5. So that's why, like, if we weren't in the Pac-5, we probably would have won. We probably would have been winning championship for the past 10 years in a row. And would be like that's how easy it would have been, obviously, but they want to make it more competitive, right? So that's how the junior year ended. And senior year came, and I ended up getting a starting job, and I ended up committing to University of Arizona. I committed early because I knew I wanted to leave high school early and go to college a semester early.
Okay.
And yeah, man.
So you were at Arizona for the spring ball.
Yeah, I turned senior
you ended
year.
Up graduating early.
Yeah, so I remember that senior year because I graduated 2016. Senior year, I turned 17 in that October. Fast forward to that January, I was at U of A. So
first of all, clap it up for that, because that's not easy, bro. Because let's tell it what it is. At the end of the day, there's a reason why Sarah only got 400 students.
Yeah.
They have their reputation for academics is higher than other schools. So to be able to graduate that early, bro, that's super impressive, bro.
I recently told one of my friends, I was like, yeah, I graduated early. It was like, you did? They went to some other high school, and it was like, how you do that? And I was like, for me going through it, it's like, oh, it's easy. I just had to do this and the third. But for them, it's like, how? And I mean, basically, that summer going into senior year, I had to take like 6 classes online.
Just being able to juggle being a high-profile athlete and a scholar like that, that's...
People who listening to this right now, just realize, y'all got to go, y'all got to dream, bro. It takes sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go the extra mile and do what you have to do, because obviously you have a God-given gift. Right. So you're not wasting it. Some people will be like, damn, I can go to school, I can go early, but I got to do this. Nah, I'm gonna just go later. And now when you get there in the fall, you might be behind.
Yeah, and I credit Jalen Green for that, because, like I said, he was the quarterback that was before me. He
took you under his wing.
Yeah, and basically, I told you, he ended up leaving high school early.
Oh, okay. So you saw that,
right? And for me, like, obviously him being a starting quarterback, I was like, I don't know, it felt cool.
Yeah,
I mean, going to college as a 17-year-old.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I don't regret that decision at all.
Hell no.
It was tiring. I will say that. Like I got a picture from I think it was like it had to be 2015. Like I don't know who took it, but I think somebody came in and I'm like, it's during the day. I think it's a Saturday, maybe like 2:00. I'm laid out like this with a book open and I'm asleep. Like I say. But
that's just showing how hard you was working.
Yeah, I was like I said, having to take 6 classes in the summer. Is a lot. And I think
when everybody partying,
I took a class too, because like I said, I had to take classes. I had to basically make up for the time that I wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So you already had in your head, like, I want to graduate before going into my second semester of senior year. You already had that. So you took the classes the semester before or the summer before going to your senior year?
I committed junior year that second semester.
Okay.
So like during basketball season.
Okay. And then the summer after that.
Right. Yeah. No. That summer.
That summer that came up.
That's when I took all those six classes to be able to make up for the time I wouldn't be there.
Okay.
So yeah, it was. I remember I had to speak to academic advisors a lot, my principals, and it was a big deal, because it's like, for you to be leaving early, it's a big deal. So you're gonna sign this thing, and you're gonna let us know that you're gonna do this and the third, and you're gonna really because if we're basically allowing early,
yeah,
we want to know that you're up to par with everything. You're not getting in trouble.
That's actually crazy because Westchester would never have. I don't think Westchester even put that in our heads that we could do something like that. Like,
you know what's crazy though? I'm pretty sure it's crazy to say, but like, if say you went up to them and asked them, and you like let them know like what you want to do and had like you feel me, everything with
the opportunity.
They probably would be like, okay, cool. But it's just
but it's just crazy because you actually was able to see someone else do that. But for us, I haven't seen anyone.
But I would tell you, IT, a lot of quarterbacks do it.
Okay, see.
As Tate he can attest to it. Like Malachi Nelson just did it.
Well, we didn't have any quarterbacks in Westchester.
We didn't have no quarterback. That's where I was going.
We sucked.
Our bat look. We were basketball.
So basketball.
Yeah.
And then too in basketball.
Basketball season's the second semester, so nobody's graduating early from that.
In basketball, only thing people do now they reclassify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, reclassify.
But you would want. I would think that as a basketball player, you would want to play. Because you guys play the second semester of school, so like you can't leave early.
You don't want to miss your season and everything.
Yeah. For football, it's like my season's over.
He wasn't skipping the state championship to leave.
Exactly.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, we're done. We're done. Yeah. Okay, yo, Rich Rod, what's going on?
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I still did everything. I still did the senior night. Still did graduation. Only thing I didn't do was prom, and that was
do you regret that or?
Nah, I mean, I purposely didn't.
Oh, but
I had a lot going on, and I didn't want to.
You didn't really miss that. I feel like prom, we went there
swear you didn't.
Just for the look, just for the look.
You go to prom to say you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I left prom early. I was just, champagne party was all I really cared about.
Yeah.
Give me the pictures, the video.
Champagne parties, they say champagne parties are like mainly California.
Yeah, no.
No. LA.
Black people in general.
I don't even think because up north they don't even do it.
Yeah, my sister's husband
that's crazy.
Actually said that he's never even heard of a champagne party until he came out
it's
here.
out here.
Yeah, that's actually crazy to think about.
Wow.
Did you have any girls ask you to be there, go to prom with them and anything?
Yeah, I had a good amount. And like I said, that's kind of what made me.
A good amount.
I had to make an executive decision on
just focus on your future and everything.
Yeah, like I could have, but I didn't want to compromise anything that I have now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
I mean, you made the right decision going forward, bro.
At the end of the day, I was thinking like way. I think opposite. So I was thinking way deeper than like what I would supposed to think as a 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So, I tried to. I think I played my cards right.
Man,
I hear exactly what you're saying.
That's actually really dope that you had that type of mindset. Because me, when I was in high school, I'm just having fun and everything. I had cool grades and everything, but I just didn't have that like looking forward. I wasn't even thinking about college until senior year. So just your upbringing, seeing that from you said what's his name, Jordan Green or Jalen Green?
Jalen Green, yeah.
Seeing that from him. And then, Pop Warner, just everybody instilling in your head,
every level, good influences.
That's actually really dope. And I feel like that's missing in today's, generation with kids.
But that's another reason why football is important. Like, football is more than a game. People are like, oh, you're just playing the child's game. It's not that serious. No, bro. It is more. Like, the connections you can make playing football, like, and the teachers you can have playing football is like literally if you go to college. Like it's the same, like you know what I'm saying? Like you can have positive influences. Now
and you also gotta work in tandem with 10 other people.
Yeah.
And like, even whether it be basketball, it's 4 other people.
One guy could carry a whole team. But
you know what I'm saying? In football it's like, in basketball, one dude making all the shots.
Yeah, you're good.
You don't gotta rebound, you might be good. In football it's like, one person blows an assignment. Everything is disaster.
You need your receiver to run around.
You could be the best quarterback.
You need your line to protect the quarterback. It's just,
everything has to work, and it's a bigger field. So it's not a lot of core values.
But I see a lot of plays where quarterback literally will throw the ball and the receiver run the wrong route, and now they argue.
Yeah, it's
like you can't throw it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you're right.
I do want to ask though. Was it ever any animosity? Because, going to Sarah, having all these good players and everything, and also how you was competing for the starting quarterback position with someone. Was there ever any animosity between you guys? Like, were you guys ever fighting, like, this is my position, this is the spot I want, or was it like friendly competition, like, you know?
Not really. I think the fact that we like all kind of had our own success kind of made it more leisure.
Okay.
So I think we had a lot more fun because, like, you know, if all three of us talking and you got Florida State and Miami, and Cam got USC, UCLA, and I got Texas and A&M.
We're all happy.
I mean, it was
everybody getting some.
Yeah, everybody was getting some, and you know, it was just a good time. You know, I feel like if you were able to, you know, show what you could do and put in that work, like, you know, a lot of our players did. Even if it wasn't a major D1 school, you know, you went somewhere. Like my good friend Tyler Hall, who he went to Wyoming, right, and he wasn't highly recruited, but went to Wyoming, and then he won a Super Bowl with the Rams. And it's kind of.
I'm about to say, is that the Raiders, Tyler Hall?
Yeah.
Hey, you went to Sarah?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's beautiful.
I forgot you Raider fan.
Y'all know I'm a Raider fan.
Yeah,
that's my boy. That's my boy.
Tyler Hall is a baller. The Raiders' defense was terrible last year, but Tyler, I went on Madden and made him a 90. I'm not even exaggerating, bro. 37, bro, because he came up and he didn't have a guaranteed contract.
Right.
He was, bro. He's
crazy. He from Gardena.
That's crazy. California really has some talent.
Bro, he played for Inglewood. Me and him played together. We played Pop Warner together
with the Jets
for a year.
Oh, we can go down a list of professionals just from the Jets.
Yeah.
We can go down.
Man. Cali, just Los Angeles in general, we create legends.
Yeah.
I saw another former Jets quarterback recently having NFL trials, Malik Henry.
He did?
Malik, I saw it on Twitter. I think it said he worked out for the Chargers or something.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what happened with it, but he worked out for somebody. So it's like, bro, Inglewood, hey. So let's talk about recruiting, bro. Was it Arizona all the way? But did you have like a final three? Was it close? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was mine was relatively easy because when I was being recruited, you know, obviously I'm an athletic quarterback, so you know, other coaches, different schools had different ideas for me. Like SC, I know you're an SC fan. SC had a different.
I know the story about SC. I remember you told me that. Yeah.
But yeah, everybody had different plans. So it was for me. It was relatively easy to pick because I wanted to play quarterback. Yeah. So I know in my head, okay, I think I have 15 offers. I got 15 offers, and they don't want to play quarterback. I can like kind of X them out. So it made it relatively easy to pick. I mean, unfortunately, you know, obviously that was my first time having to accept the fact that, you know, everybody don't see you how
you see yourself,
or, you know, people see the best out of you. You know, they might just think this of you. So that was my first time, you know, at the age of 15 being recruited, like, you know,
just because you're athletic, bro.
Right. Like that was my first time having like, you know, grown people tell me like, nah, we don't think you can play quarterback. We want you, so that's at that age. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So it was, you know, obviously.
Was it ever like discouraging?
It wasn't discouraging. It was just more like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm showing you I can do it, you know.
Like are you not watching?
Can't.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm showing you I can, you know. So
especially
you know, everybody got. That's what I learned. That's what I learned. You know, everybody has their own preference. You know, certain coaches like certain things. You know, whether that be you two, know, you might like something that he don't like, or you know, it's just different little things that play into effect. But for me, you know, being like 15 and having to understand that is like different. You feel me? Like having to understand that they don't want me because they just don't like me. Not I'm good, but they don't like me. You know, so that was my first time having to learn how to accept, like, okay, they don't want me, but they do. So, you know.
Yeah. But they regretted it after seeing your senior season.
Right. So like against USC, UCLA, they I'm pretty sure
you made them feel it.
Yeah. So.
You made them feel it. Hey. And I love the moments when after the games and y'all line up on the field and it's all the Sarah dudes. Like it's a picture. It was you, Adoree,
Buddha, CJ Pollard, Brandon Bergen.
Was Rasheem Green
on Sarah Rasheem, John Houston, Jalen Jones.
I don't know if Deontay was going yet, but Deontay,
no, he was still there.
So like it's a picture, bro. It's all the Sarah people on one field. I'm like, God damn, it's like 40% of the rosters. It was a beautiful thing, man. So, but yeah, you definitely made them feel it. Your first start was against USC, right?
Yeah, we didn't win.
Hey,
he said he was going to talk about that too.
Listen. I know you didn't beat SC, but when I tell you, bro, I was on the couch. I was at the crib with my dad watching the game. I was so proud.
Yeah,
because you was like, I think you was a freshman.
I was the youngest. I mean, I think I probably still am. I'm the youngest quarterback to like start in the game for Arizona.
Yeah. I read that.
Also, you were the first true freshman to start for them since 05.
Wow.
So, bro, that's not easy, bro. Like, so even though I know y'all lost, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Did you have like a chip on your shoulder in that game?
Shit.
No, it's crazy, bro. I mean, that was at the point in time where like the rules were different. So I had just burned my red shirt. Like that was like so now you're able to play, now you're able to play up to 4 games and you can pick what 4 games you want to play and it won't count against you. At that time it was like if you play in any league game, no matter if you played one snap or 2 snaps,
it counts.
Like your eligibility, like your clock start.
And the red shirt is when you basically just
you don't.
It doesn't count against you.
So I they burned my red shirt against UCLA actually, which was cool though. That was my first time playing in the Rose Bowl. I think I had 3 touchdowns. You feel me? Like it was. I think Don Kennedy was there because my boy, his family member is like Archie Davis, which is Don's manager or something like that. So he was at the game. So it was cool. Like you feel me? But that was when my clock started. So I think either the next week or the week after. I think the next week. Played against UCLA because Brandon had gotten hurt. Brandon Dawkins was the quarterback before he got injured. So I was feeling like I was just excited to finally be able to play. And also I knew my clock started now. So
it's like hey, now or never.
Let's get busy. Let's get busy. Yeah.
So then I
your sophomore year though. Let's talk about that shit, bro.
Yeah. So
sophomore year you come in. You're not the starter, right? Coming into sophomore year, you were still the backup.
Yeah. No, I wasn't to start at all. That's a crazy backstory too. Yeah.
But on one October night in Boulder, Colorado.
I think October 6th.
Yep.
I think that's my brother's birthday. I think actually, yeah.
Oh, your ass get on the field. So I didn't watch this game because I don't know where I was at. I watched the replay though.
Because I wasn't supposed to play. I wasn't supposed to play that game.
I came home. I turned on my TV and the ticker said Arizona quarterback Khalil Tate, NCAA. I said Khalil.
He said what?
Which one? Yeah.
I was like, I heard to say Khalil Tate. What's going on? I said no. They gave him, and I watched the tape, bruh. It looked like everybody else was in slow motion, and you was just
And this is a game you're not even supposed to play.
Tell us about that night. When did you find out you were starting? What was it like?
So the backstory with that is I go through my freshman year. I was like a third string. I didn't play by my red shirt. Like whatever. I was just happy, just to be there. You feel me? Yeah. Sophomore year came, in my head I'm like, all right, I'm a pretty patient dude. Like, so in my head I'm like, all right, I just, I was patient. And I think we went 3-9. I'm like, I was patient. I'm like, all right, I'm assuming this year something gonna be different. You feel me? Like
be a competition at least.
Right. So that spring coming, I think I'm number 2. I may be number 3 because Anu was still there. Anu Solomon.
Anu was pretty good.
I think I was number 3. But basically springtime ended up coming. Fall time ended up coming. And I think Anu I got hurt. I think he transferred to Baylor.
Oh wow.
So I was behind Brandon, right? And I'm just like, I'm chilling. I know, but that's my boy. But I'm behind him and I'm just like, I want to play. Like, I already spent last year. I spent last year, like, being, patient.
I'm the freshman. I'm chilling.
Exactly.
I'm the type to like.
Turn, but now
I'm the type to like. Even if I go through something, I won't like voice it. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna handle it. I'll handle it, but I'm not gonna like compromise anybody else. You feel me? I'm gonna just. I'm gonna let the work show. Like, if you think it's supposed to be working, and obviously it's not. Who gonna look dumb? Me or you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was backup, and for me, it's funny, bro, because that week we had a bye. We had a bye before the Colorado game. I remember I went back home because Sarah played against Chaminade. They played at Chaminade. Chaminade is a blue turf, actually in West Hills. So I went to the game, and I remember talking to my coach Altenberg, and I was telling him like I'm thinking about like transferring from like, because I'm like, I'm tired. Like I think that was like game 4 because I think league play had just started. I'm like I want to play. You feel me? And I feel like they like not trying to let me play. And he was like, man, you be straight. And I told my coach, I told him, if they put me in, I'm like, they're not gonna take me out. You feel me? Like, that's just how I feel. Like, and this is before I even played.
Yeah.
But this is a random. This is the week before the Colorado game. So I ended up telling him that, and he was like, okay. And then I ended up going back to Arizona, obviously. And then Colorado game came. And it's crazy because I usually pay attention, but like I think this game I was a lot more in tune. Like I was really like locked in on watching games. And one play, Brandon, he rolled out and they hit him late after the whistle and he tumbled into their bench. And when he tumbled into the bench, I remember they was like, he's down. I remember I was like right by the field and they was like, who you in? I was like, oh.
He's at my time.
You see Malibu was wondering when he was like, it's real. That's how I felt.
Like you ain't gotta be like that, but hey, give me my helmet. What's good?
Exactly. So yeah, I ended up getting in, and then the rest is history. And I kind of turned. Oh my God!
Is that game a blur to you? Do you like remember being there?
So it's crazy, but I mean, we played against a good Colorado team, and they had a running back by the name of Philip Lindsay.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because bro, I rushed for 327 on 13 carries, but bro had rushed for 280. A lot of people don't know this, like, because we won. Obviously, a lot of people. Yeah. Bro rushed for 280. I think he had like 30-something carries, but like he rushed for. He had a great game too, but it's just the fact that I did what I did. It kind of
offset.
It. I want you to understand how insane what he just said.
I understand.
No wait, he just casually said 327.
Like,
but no,
like it's just nothing.
13 carries. On 13, bro.
That's insane.
Bro, do you know 327?
Yes,
that's 25 yards. That's 25 yards of carry. I mean, every time I leave this pocket, I'm going 30 on your ass.
And
every time. You can't do nothing about it.
Being prepared, like you're going from not even like thinking you're not gonna play to getting in the game and doing like that's insane. Like just being mentally prepared to do that.
They ain't taking me out.
No different.
So and I'm like you said, it was definitely a blur. And I think like I said that to say for Philip Lindsay to rush for 280 as well. People don't know, but like it was a hard game for us. Like because I was breaking, like I go 80, right? And then they get out there.
1 by 3.
Then they get out there, they have a long drive, and they score. So it's like it wasn't like we was blowing them out. You know what I'm saying? And I can just I'm going off. Like,
this is me trying to win us the game.
We score, then they score, and then now it's like I gotta score again. Like so, I think at the end when they told me, I didn't know how much I rushed for it. Because I was just running. You feel me? So at the end when they was like, "You got a record for 327," I was like, "I do." Like I was glad we won. You feel me?
If you was at Arizona, you would have known. If y'all was at home, they would have put it on the board. You would have known that.
It was an away game. It was like I said, that was the time of Colorado. They were super competitive. So it was. It's crazy. I think I got a screenshot. That was like I think that was the most. I think that was a sold out game. That was like the most sold out game they've ever had. Like, and it was a random game against us. You feel me? So,
did you feel any of that pressure though, or was it just another day in the office for you?
I felt I wouldn't say another day in the office. It just felt like numb. You feel me? Like even when I score, it's like when I score, sometimes I'm like yelling. I just feel like it's only me. Like I didn't even watch the videos. Watching back, like that, man. Watching back, it do look like that looked crazy. But at the time, I just felt like I was just
so locked in.
I was just trying to get off.
What you've been practicing your whole
having
life.
that mindset. As soon as I'm in the game, I'm not coming out. You know, you waited for this moment.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now. So you guys won 45-42. I went back and rewatched the game because it was like a classic, one of the greatest football games you'll ever see.
It was a really good game, yeah.
So Lindsay did have 281 on 41 carries.
He had a lot of carries.
And you had 327 on 13 carries.
So getting 281 on 41 is still amazing.
Yeah.
Your game was so great, it made that look regular, right? But here's the other thing. People will say, but we wanted you to do something else. So, like, obviously people could watch. See, he's a running back. We told you, right? But you threw, I don't know if you know what you threw in that game. 12 out of 13. You have one incompletion. 12 for 13, 154. That's a good game. For a backup quarterback that you didn't game plan for and you just going out here winging it.
12 for 13 is like for basketball purposes. It's like Curry shooting 9 for 10 from 3.
Yeah, that's insane.
You know what I'm saying? Like You know, so it was.
And that's over 10 yards of completion. You have 154. That's over 10 yards of completion. You're not just dinking little flats, bro.
Yeah,
you're throwing the ball.
Do you rank that as the greatest game you've ever played in your life, or
you know it's crazy, bro? Somebody asked me that before. Mm-hmm. The game I was telling you about, we played against Centennial in high school my junior year. I had eight touchdowns.
I remember that.
I passed. We lost the game. I passed for 5, threw for 3. No, I passed for 5, ran for 3. I'm sorry.
And the score was what, 68-64, you said?
Yep. But my senior year also we played against Narbonne. We used to whoop on Narbonne. They're gonna hate this man.
I was at that game.
They used to hate me. Like I think I had 6 touchdowns.
You had 6 touchdowns.
I think I had like 210 rushing, 210 passing, and
that's insane.
Yep.
I think that game, like locally, like everybody local, they already be like, man, I was at the game.
That's the game everybody remembers.
I didn't realize so many people was at that game. You feel me? Like, looking back at people, like, I was at that game. I'm like, I didn't know that. You feel me?
Yeah, because here's the thing, bro. Because Narbonne was a big name school.
Exactly.
Right? Sarah was sending everybody to college. So everybody was checking for Sarah regardless. Like little babies was checking for Sarah. So it was like if you had like this year, USC, UCLA were both really good. Mm-hmm. It was like that. You got the teams that's representing Southern Cal really, and they had their best, and everybody was there. I remember it was like a party. It was like a block party.
And it's crazy too, cause like Sarah's local. You know, we in Gardena and Narbonne. They're not too local, but they local too in a sense. So like we knew a lot of those guys. Mm-hmm. You know, like we grew up like playing football with those guys and playing against those guys. A lot of my teammates did.
That was a rivalry right there, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing for like it was a rivalry only because like they wanted to be like they talk the most. Like they didn't tell you like, but we used to play against them in 7-on-7 on Wednesdays. They'd come up to Sarah and they'd play against us, and they always did well because they have like good. It's kind of like if somebody played well during a pickup game, but if you play
versus organized,
you feel me? So they would do well, you know. Got a lot of good specific plays. So I remember one of them coaches being like, "Man, we on y'all," and I was like, "Just wait till the season." I don't like it's grown man. I think it was it not Douglas? I forget the coach's name. I was like, we're gonna play on the season, and then that's when I that game, that was LA Times for sure.
That's actually insane.
So we're talking about the Colorado game, right? But then the next week against UCLA, you had your first home start. Well, that season, first home start. Your USC start was at Arizona.
Yeah.
But you had your first home start, and you showed it wasn't no fluke.
Right.
The next week, instead of 327, you ran for 230.
Yeah.
And then you threw 9 out of 13.
Yeah.
So that's back to back. Well, the first week you threw 93%, which is crazy. Yeah. This week you threw 70%, and then you threw 67%, and then you had a 1-down game, then you threw 71%. So it was like you were throwing the ball. That's what I was impressed with. Yeah. It was like because I remember we were RG3 fans, so we always talked about how RG3 could really throw the ball and run. You were running for 150, 200 every week.
Wow, going efficient.
But then you were dotting it too. That was a really special year. So when that season ended, that was Coach Rodriguez still, right?
Yeah, that was his last season. It's crazy too, bro. That was I won Pac-12 Player of the Week
4 times,
which is the most like
record.
Yeah, no, it's the most like it's more than Reggie Bush, Marcus Allen.
That's insane.
So I still hold that
fresh out the gate.
Yeah, I still hold that, which is pretty cool. I think last year, Bo Nix, I think he had 3. He would have
caught you.
He would have tied.
He almost caught you.
He would have tied. But even with that too, it's like if you look at like how I was winning Player of the Week versus how he was winning Player of the Week, 2 different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like he was winning because this team was winning. He played well, but I was winning.
Yeah. Like you was the one winning you guys' games.
You really like you deserve it. Like okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We do say one player can't really dictate the game of football, but you was doing it. Like Bo Nix was at like a top 10 school.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Arizona was coming up.
Yeah, we are in the middle.
You had a young team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of the Narbonne players was there with you, right?
It was 2, Devon Cooper and Anthony Pandy.
Yep.
They both went there. But no, you asked about so that season ends up ending. We have our bowl game. We lost to Purdue in the Foster Farms Bowl, which was played at Levi Stadium. So I was experience. And then our coach randomly got fired. You know, he had some allegations that ended up most recently they came out and said that they were false, I believe. So he ended up getting let go.
We talk about that all the time, bro.
Yeah, he ended up getting let go, and then so he gets let go, and this is me still. I still had the season I had, so you know I'm on a high horse. I'm like, you feel me?
1,400 yards, by the way.
Yeah, it's off season now. I'm like, cool. So basically,
you started 8 games and you had 26 total touchdowns. That's crazy, bro.
That's actually insane.
That's crazy.
And it's like I don't get my credit. You feel me? Like, you know, like.
Hey man,
they don't talk about that enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, I preach your name every chance I get, bro. What you do, what you can do, what you can still do is special. Right. Terrell Owens said he could throw the hell out that ball. Yeah. So if the GOAT T.O. is probably the greatest ever, if he said you can throw it, then you can throw it.
That's
man, open your eyes, you know?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
How was the adjustment with the coaching change?
Yeah, so basically it was crazy because even with that situation, it was, you know, again, too, remember, at this time, I'm 18 and 19. I think I was still 18, maybe.
Being that young is insane.
Sophomore year,
So basically, they was, we let our coach go, and they were like, the athletic director, Dave Hickey, and the president, Mr. Robbins, he's also into sports like that, too. But they were basically, you know, trying to ask me, like, you know, what you want to do about the coach, like who do you like? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that, in a sense, you know, brought this program this most recent success. You know, I would appreciate, you know, if they had me have my input in who I want to lead us.
Exactly.
So I remember they were asking about certain coaches, and I was just like, you know, I don't know. And then randomly, bro, like I don't know if you remember this, Cam, but randomly, like it was a article that came out and said Navy coach Coach Ken, whatever his last name was, he said they were about to close on the deal, and I'm like, I seen that on Twitter. I'm like, so granted, Navy they ran the wing T.
Yeah.
So
their quarterback ran a lot.
You know, like not even ran up, but last wing T is like you know, like no wing T quarterbacks are going to the NFL. Let's just, you know, that's
true. They're not.
You know what I'm saying? That's not. You can win some games, but like that's not. You know, I can throw the ball. So I want to be in shotgun.
So they said Arizona was talking to the Navy coach.
So I seen.
I've watched Navy. They don't throw the ball.
So I'm on Twitter and I see the tweet. I see a tweet that say Arizona has been in contact with Navy coach. So I'm like,
oh, that's insane.
So I'm like, so at this time I see it on I think I'm at my apartment in Tucson, but I feel like, where does this come from? So I went on Twitter and I said, I said, I didn't come here to run a triple option.
You tweeted that?
I just, you can look it up. You know, it's crazy.
That's a power move, bro.
So I tweeted that, right? And I deleted it after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's already on social media is keeping that. That's not going nowhere.
The next day, my tweet was on ESPN. And then so what they were saying was crazy because even after that, they were saying like, for this player to say this, they was like, it's crazy that, you know, basically we ended up not going with him. But they ended up saying like, you know, it's crazy that this kid felt strong enough to be able to tweet that. Or like even like let people know like I don't want to do this. Like I'm not just gonna be like, okay, all right. Like if I don't want to do it, I'm gonna let it be known, especially with me.
Especially with you being the starting quarterback, you should be able to have a say so on who you want.
I feel like my word means something. So I said that, and I remember them saying like, man, like, it's a big deal. Like, you know, like he spoke out about it. You feel me? Because, you know, a lot of times the players are just quiet and just, you know, they're going to take whatever they get. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I spoke out about it and I deleted it. I deleted it so fast. I don't know why. I think somebody called me asking and I deleted it. And well, it was
too late.
They was talking about it.
Did you even think about like the impact that it would have? It was just like a, what is this? Like, you know, reaction.
I felt insulted by the fact that anybody was even talking to him. Without even like asking me like, hey, like, what you think about him? Because it's not like it's a different coach and it's like, okay, They run a regular offense.
But it's somebody's going to put you at a disadvantage on going where you want to go.
Because what it would do is it would compromise
gimmick,
me.
Bro.
Your future.
Compromise me. I don't like being used as a compromise, which I feel like I've been used as a compromise for a good amount of my career. So I ended up saying like, yeah, I didn't come in on a triple option, and then we ended up not going with him. And then I reached out to the coach, and I remember Kevin Sumlin was one of the names that popped up. He recruited me out of high school.
Okay.
A&M when I was playing with Keyshawn Johnson 707 team, Team 19, and we took a visit out there. So he had recruited me. So I remember I was like, it'd be cool. I'm like that'd be cool to get him. He had Johnny Manziel. I didn't do extensive research because obviously 18, 19, I wasn't thinking.
It's not really your job to do that,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we ended up bringing him in, and it was cool, early on. And over time, we didn't gel the best. And I don't know if that was based off of him coming from the prestigious school that he was at in Texas A&M, and being accustomed to running things a certain way, and coming to a school that wasn't necessarily prestigious in that aspect as far as CC strength, and it didn't gel the way that
you had
I wanted to, and I don't think the way that he wanted to either.
What I'll say about the first year with Sumlin, what I noticed right away off rip with Rodriguez that sophomore year, you had 1,400 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns, I believe, and then you had I think an even passing amount, like the same, like about 1,500 passing yards, 14 touchdowns. Then the next year, your passing yards doubled, your touchdown passing doubled, interceptions I think actually went down one. So you threw the ball better, but rushing was non-existent.
Right.
Was that a system thing? Was it like I know you had a foot problem maybe was last year or the junior year maybe?
I actually had an ankle problem both years, but I mean that was system. I think whenever you're coming to a situation as a head coach, I feel like you always want to look at what you have there and then build from that. Right? I mean, a lot of times what some coaches might do is see the situation that's there, but not like it at all.
Yeah.
How to just revamp it, right? When that might not necessarily be what works for not that just that play, but like that team. You kind of got to use with that team. We had a winning season, went to a game.
Yeah,
7 or 8 games. All right, let me use what they did and kind of like build from that.
Build.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to like come in and just make it yours.
Okay.
Which especially because Rich wasn't fired for football reasons.
Right. Especially when in a sense it is yours, but it's like, you want to use the success that, whoever was there before you had.
Build on what you had before.
Right. So I don't think that was necessarily done. I think it was a lot of, I want to do it my way, which is, everybody entitled to feel how they feel. So, yeah, man, it just didn't gel the way that I wanted to, or I think the way that they wanted to. And I try, I'm very, I try to take pride in being easy to work with. So, I try to, go out of my way to do things, even if it makes me uncomfortable. I try to do it just to say I did it. I'm not the type to like say I don't want to do it. I'm gonna try to do it, and if it don't make me,
if it works.
Right.
So
I'm not just gonna roll it out. So
with college football now, you have the transfer portal. The portal didn't exist when you were there, right? Because it was like if you transfer, you got
sit out.
So now you gonna be a year older, trying to get to the league, and
so
they don't
like
even
an
quarterback
at that point.
Well, granted, Cam, they do, but they don't.
They do, but they don't.
Because you see some now that's older than me now.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett is older than us. All of us, and he just got drafted.
Right now,
so I feel what you mean. But like with the portal, like if something like that happens, like you see Lincoln Riley comes to USC, and he told them, hey, this 20 outside of y'all can go. You can leave the portal. It's like free agency now.
Yeah,
Dion is doing it at Colorado. I think Kelly did it at LSU, where you can bring in your own guys. If you want to do your own system, revamp it. All right, I'm going to bring in my players. If the portal existed then, do you think you would have looked elsewhere after the first year with something like for your last year?
Maybe if it was an option and that I didn't have to reap a consequence from doing it, I probably would have looked.
Yeah, because now you can just jump in and play right away.
Because then you can at least hear people's pitches for a system and everything and see if it makes sense. I
probably would have thought about it. But also too, I don't know, bro. Because like for me, I'm real big on like everything happened how it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if obviously, my ego would be like, just leave and go somewhere else. But I look at it like, I enjoy my time at Arizona, whether my sophomore year or my senior year, like I just enjoyed my time there. That goes back to me making my decision. When I made my decision, I made it based off of like, if I was to get injured, would I enjoy myself?
Okay, so
that's true.
So it was more than just football as well.
Yeah. And then, the distance, it not being too far. I knew too many people that, like, when I was in high school or, like, Pop Warner, like, that were older that, maybe played for the Inglewood Jets. Come back and, like, they were in a situation where, they were compromised and they didn't necessarily like it. And now they was like, yeah, I'm about to leave and I'm about to go do this. And I used to see that and I used to be thinking, like, I don't know if I don't necessarily be in that position.
You don't want to be that person.
You know what I'm saying? I want to, like I said, God forbid, sports, you get injured. If I get injured, would I have fun? Like, would I be able to enjoy myself, or would I be like, man, I got injured, I don't want to be here. I want to go home now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that goes back to that decision as far as, picking somewhere I would just enjoy regardless of what was going on. Like, just where would I have fun and where would I enjoy myself and enjoy college? Because college is an experience that, not everyone gets. So I just wanted to be able to, really reap those benefits. And
that was a mature decision, honestly, looking at that, But,
so, looking back at it, you had one of the greatest Arizona careers ever, probably the greatest quarterback out of Arizona, honestly. I know Nick Foles came from Arizona, but there, you had the house jumping. You broke the records. You did what you did. I believe you I had the numbers in front of me, but you know what you did, man. You lined them up with the best of them, and you did it. So Pac-12 too. Like you're definitely like you didn't win them Player of the Week for no reason. You also made the All-Conference academic team. I think honorable mention, right? So that goes back into you leaving school early. It shows like I'm still a student first. So that's something I want to put out there too. Like for anybody who's watching, like who's coming up, I know high schoolers are going to watch this and be like, "Oh, Khalil Tate, this is a great player," but you didn't fuck around in the classroom, bro. You did what you had to do.
I had to get my schoolwork done. I think I credit my father for that. He's a educator. So he teaches. He's taught between third grade to high school, college. So just having him always, letting me know that I need to finish my work before I do anything.
And you said he was teaching summer school at Sarah as well.
So being able to, I just need to finish my work before I do anything, and then there's a time and place for everything too. My mom taught me that. There's a time and place to have fun, time and place to be serious, but you can't just have fun all the time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta regardless if you're a kid or not, you gotta be serious sometimes.
Something has to be done. Yeah.
I credit my dad a lot for that.
Exactly.
I graduated from high school. From college early too.
Yeah,
I saw that. You did 3 years, correct? Yeah, that's actually insane.
So his last year he was just playing.
That's
insane, dope. Man. Like just to have that type of head on your shoulders, like that's beautiful. Like I wish I was like that, man.
Yeah, but it ain't too late though, man.
Yeah, no, it's never too late. That's
I wouldn't want to be your son. That's all I know. Because your son come home.
You gotta have high expectations to live.
I'm sorry, man. I was busy.
What?
Man.
I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Playing football. Man,
it's like your kid won't have no excuse because you've had a full life to this point where you don't have dull moments. You always are working on something.
I feel like I've lived like 3 lives, bro.
And you're only 24 years old.
I feel like I done seen the highs of the highs. I done seen lows of low. Like I done been around. But no, I would, like you said though, I forgot. Like I don't even. It's crazy because even at the time, and this goes back to like in college, me being on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
I was on the cover. Like the program didn't even really push that. If that makes sense. Like I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated going into my junior year. Right? And they didn't even it wasn't a push. It wasn't like let's make this a big deal, But what they had told me was let's keep it low key so you can keep on focusing.
Just stay focused on football.
And it's like at the end of the day, bro, the last person that we've had on the cover was Gronk, and that's when he was wearing a Patriots jersey, bro.
That's actually insane.
Wow. You know so it wasn't even representing Arizona. So check this out, IT. He wasn't just on the cover. He just because I know he's not going to really do it because he's like the most humble
person. I see it. It's just like, man.
Bro, my mom still tells me I love Tate. He's so humble. She always tells me about when we were at the fair. We were at the fair and we were buying stuff at the fair. Yeah. Everybody was buying dumb stuff. But you bought what you needed. And then my mom was like, well, why aren't you buying whatever? And you straight up said, my parents work too hard for their money. I'm not going to waste it. So she always reminds me that you're so humble. So he's humble, right? Mm-hmm. But that cover of Sports Illustrated wasn't a random Sports Illustrated. It wasn't after the 320. It was after it, but not right after the 327.
It was that offseason. That offseason going into the
next. It was the preseason preview. It was a preseason college football preview. They made him the face of the college football season, and the tagline was the best quarterback in the nation. Yeah. And it was about to hand him the Heisman. Yeah. I have it in here somewhere because I saw it in the store and I hit you and said, bro, what the hell?
And this is you, what, at 18, 19 years old?
I had to be 18 because I was turning 19.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. Like, just the maturity, you would think you like 35 years old with the type of, like, just talking to you, like, like I'm speaking to a wise, like, super wise person, man.
He's always been like this, though.
Bro.
That's dope.
This isn't new. This is about your bringing. This is about your home. This is about you having an older brother who was responsible. Like, that's all, because you've always been like this. Like, some people, like, they say success brings out who you are even more. Like, if you was some a-hole,
right.
You know, we would know it.
Yeah,
this is genuinely who you are, bro. You're just a genuinely good person, bro. That's why like nobody changed on you.
It's crazy too, bro, because like even a lot of people tell me like, bro, like why you don't be talking about yourself? Why you don't pop it? And it's crazy because like, you know, obviously I'm not that way. Mm-hmm. But it's like it come a point where it's like if you don't say nothing, nobody gonna know nothing too. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, being able to like kind of start popping a little bit, like, you know, just to remind people, like, you know,
who you are.
I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just Joe Schmo. Like, I don't speak on it, which can make somebody assume, like, oh, okay, it's whatever. But I'm just being myself and being humble. But it's like, you know, I could really, you know, pop it and talk about this, talk about that. But it's like,
you're still to this day. Right. You're still to this day doing things people dream of.
Man.
Every what you post on your Instagram, like the people I've seen you in the field with working out, training with, you're training with Hall of Famers, bro. You have Hall of Famers on speed dial. I've seen somebody you called, and I'm like, dog, like that's.
How is it like working with? Because he told me that you work with Terrell Owens. How is that? Like, how is Terrell Owens? How is it? You know, working with somebody of his caliber.
Man, so I actually met him. I met him through Deshaun Jackson, DJ. Okay. Mm-hmm. I met him through him. But no, Terrell Owens, he's Southern dude. You know, he country, real country, but he works hard, bro. Like I think he's I don't know if he's 50 now or he's about to turn 50.
He's still in the best.
He just works hard,
shape
like
of his life.
Like if you just saw him, like if you just talk to him, you would think like he's still playing in the NFL like to this day, and he just has a mentality of like, you know, he likes to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? As far as like just you know, putting a lot of work in, and he works on his craft. You know, whether that be training, and that's just because he wants to. Exactly. Like nobody's telling him like, oh, you need to do this. He wants to. You know,
he loves it.
And also too, I think it helps because you know. I think it helps because, you know, the older you get, you know, you kind of start moving slower. So if you're able to still, you know, be functioning and still be able to keep moving, work hard. I think, you know, it can help you live longer too, you know.
Yeah. The way I feel about T.O., like, if you really look at his, I mean, obviously, Tate, I know you followed his career, but he didn't fall off.
Nah.
He wasn't out there as a weak player. They pushed him out the league.
You look at his stats, like, if you look at his stats, like it literally is pretty even, like from top to bottom. Yeah.
Like his last
whether
season,
he's with Ocho Cinco, whether he's with Ocho Cinco on the team or by himself, he got the same stats, which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
He went to the Bengals, and I love Chad was my favorite receiver growing up. He was up there with one of my favorites. It was him, T.O., Randy. Those are my Andre Johnson too. But he went to Chad's team and led them in receiving yards at 38. I think he was 38. So we talk about, I mean, obviously what LeBron is doing is amazing, but T.O. was doing it
T.O.
too at
was
this age.
the standard.
Bro, bro.
He was telling me too. He was like, he told me about it. He was like, the other time, he was like, they were trying to push me out at that time. He said, I forgot the name he told me, but he said they drafted somebody and like, they literally like wanted the person that they drafted to like take his role. You feel me? On some like, you got to get him up out of here. You feel me? But he was on some like, I'm him. You feel me?
Like,
so
I'm too good.
Me, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, they were trying to push me out there. He's like, I remember them like specifically trying to like get me. They were trying to find ways to like push me out. You feel me? On that
it's actually crazy. Like just media creating a narrative to.
That's all it is.
I've been seeing with NBA players and stuff.
How is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
He's still not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Wait, who?
I think T.O.
I think he
made it on the third ballot.
I thought he was in it because I remember
he's in it now, but he wasn't a first ballot.
Oh, it took him 3 years. Third year.
Yeah, we used to be joking. We'd be like, "You're gonna be the first one to be in the Hall of Fame and come out of retirement and still play."
Bro. Yeah, go ahead. I think.
Who was the person that he was in that video racing? It was him. Like I forgot. I remember seeing a video of him. Was it Tyreek? Was it Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
And the fact, like, seeing him at that age, that was insane. That was insane. That showed me like he's at another level.
That's what made him special because T.O. he's a big man. Like he's not a little receiver. Like I don't know his. I think he's about 6'2", right?
Nah, bro. He's
bigger than 6'2".
He like 6'3".
Think about 6'3". He's super. He's stacked.
Yeah.
And he was faster than everybody. He's still
fast.
He could probably still clock a 4.5. You think so?
Yeah. He's still fast because he work out every day, bro. So he ready for
That's insane.
So for you, we're past Arizona now. You had the historic run. Obviously, now you're training with these guys. Right. So you're going to the CFL, right?
Right, going to CFL. Yeah.
Okay, and which organization are you with? Tell me about how that came about.
Yeah, so I'm going to Edmonton Elks, and I mean, I was trying to get in the XFL, trying to get in USFL, but you know, their reasonings for not wanting me are their reasonings. Who knows what they are? But yeah, I just going somewhere where I can play because I came out during COVID, so even
that's what was tough.
Even that situation, like it was came out during COVID and pro day got canceled. Didn't get about the combine, and then the draft came, and then the Eagles wanted to pick me up, and it was like, we like you, but we want to move you to receiver.
So already trying to get your
so this not how they're working out with Donovan McNabb in Arizona. So this not I feel good. Like I was like I'm on, and then that's when COVID.
I forgot about McNabb. You're right. You're working with him. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I forgot that, and I forgot, but that's when COVID happened that March, and then pro days got canceled. I didn't get back to the combine. And then the Eagles wanted to pick me up. It was like, we want you to play receiver. So I'm like, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot. I can't say no because at this point, it's like, I just got to say yeah.
Got to say whatever.
Move to receiver. Everything's virtual. Remember, I was there. So we meet like this.
Yeah.
I'm a receiver. Right. And they ended up letting me go before
you can even showcase.
Before we got in person. Yeah. Because they was telling me, like, you know, like, we like you, but like, you know, due to what's going on, everything that's going on.
Were you doing workouts on Zoom?
We weren't even doing workouts.
That's insane.
They didn't even see you do anything. Oh, that's BS. Because I remember the NFL that year they had before training camp because of COVID.
He can't believe it.
Yeah, he can't. Because when COVID happened, when they went to training camp, they limited the amount of people you could bring to camp. So they had to cut like 10 people before it even started.
Yeah, and then
I didn't know it was that bad. I was reading and I was like, I saw it was during the COVID and stuff and everything, and I seen like even my brother played high school football and COVID messed his whole little thing going. Yep. I didn't even know it was that bad. You're on Zoom, not even getting to work out. Like that's insane.
No, they didn't even see him.
They ended up letting me go before they went to fall camp. It's like, yeah, we like you, man, but like, you know, we don't have time to work with you, and we're gonna probably pick somebody up that, you know, just plays receiver, which I mean, even though I didn't like to hear that, it made sense. Like I get it, but it's also like I didn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
So get let go. And I was actually, when I got the call, I was on my way to the beach. I remember that. I got a call from a Philadelphia number, and I don't usually answer calls. I was like,
ruined your day.
I answered, "It's Howie Roseman here with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. What's going on? How you doing?" When they talk like that, you already know, like, cause they not calling see what's going on with you. So I'm like,
all right, man.
I'm just letting him say, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let you go, man. Yada yada yada. We can always bring you back." I'm like, "All right, cool." So that was that. But then it sucked because like it being during COVID, I had different workouts throughout that season, but COVID affected things. So like in 2020, when I don't know if you remember, but there was a time when the Baltimore Ravens, they had an outbreak.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was supposed to work out. I was in Arizona about to work out with the Cardinals. When they had the outbreak, they canceled the workout.
Wow.
They canceled the workout and like sent us home. And they was like, "Yeah, man, like, you know, we can't do nothing about it, yada yada yada." So I went through that. Then y'all gonna trip over this. Then they hit me back. The Cardinals did. Hit me back in November. I want to bring you in. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell y'all at that time when they brought you in for a workout, you had to quarantine for 5 days.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So yeah, you got to be in a hotel by yourself or something.
They bring you in on Monday, and then you got to quarantine until Friday, and you work out on Saturday. This was at that time. That's what happened the first time. The first time,
terrible time.
Yeah, the first time I think it was like the day before, and we was like, "They're not gonna just let us work out." They was like, "Nah, bro, like it's COVID, like you feel me." So then they ended up like, "All right, whatever, it's whatever." So then the Cardinals ended up hitting me back again. They're like, "Yeah, man, we want to bring you in." I'm like, "All right, cool." Get out there, we chilling, right? I think that Thursday, right? We get tested every day. Somebody we was with got COVID.
Oh my God.
So they sent us. So yeah.
Wow.
Can't make this up. They then they sent us back. They're like, "Yeah, man, we gonna get you in here, bro, yada yada." So I'm like, "All right," you feel me? So then they end up hitting me back again. I think right before the wild card game. They played against the Rams, and they were saying like, you know, basically, if they win, it would help. It would be helpful because they win, and that means they made it into the playoffs, and they're probably picking me up
and stuff.
Right, but so I had to work out, did well, and then they ended up. I did quarterback and receiver actually. School, but I had to work out, did well, and then they ended up losing to the Rams the next day. So I don't know if that necessarily.
You can't make this up, man.
Damn!
Wow.
Hey. Now I feel bad because I was rooting for the Rams. If I'd have known that, I would have been putting my Cardinal jersey on.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
The city was live. I bet you was like, "God, fuck the Rams."
Bro, and you know what's crazy? I was thinking like, dang, because I was out there for a week before, and I was like, it'd be crazy because if they was to pick me up, my first game would have been, because it was at SoFi.
Yeah.
My first game would have been at SoFi. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you would have been in the city with it too, like, you know, being at home. Damn.
So yeah.
So yeah, then that happens, and then that a few weeks after that, the Eagles hit me back and were like, "Yeah, I want to bring you back." I'm like, "All right, cool." You feel me? So they bring me back.
Talking about receiver still?
Yeah, I'm a receiver. I'm wearing number 6 though. You feel me? So I'm like, cool. You feel me? Like, whatever, like, you know.
I know where you're going.
The drive come, and then we pick up Devontae Smith, and so this is it's timing is crazy, bro. That 2021 is the first year they said like we're gonna allow people to wear single digits.
Yeah.
So if you are a rookie, you can get a single digit. And people don't notice, but like if you have been in the league, you want to switch to a single digit, you have to buy out your number because you know they have jerseys.
Yeah.
You gotta buy out into the single digit.
That's insane.
So it was easy for a rookie to just get it whatever number. So we drafted Devontae Smith. When we drafted him, I was like, he probably gonna win 6. You feel me? So they ended up hitting me up like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and give you number 17.
He's like, bro, like
I said, I get it.
Yeah.
But I was
and 14 was taken already, right? Because 14 was on what, Gainwell, I think.
And he was a rookie, so it's not like I would have went out of 6, and then if he wasn't there, I would have went to 14. But since he wore 14 at Memphis, 14
number.
So yeah, bro, I ended up going through camp with them, doing well. I did well, bro, and then they just kept saying like, you know, like we like you, but we don't have a lot of time to like just work with you. Like you raw, you can catch you got speed, you got size, but we just don't have time. So they ended up letting me go. But I mean, I'm good friends with Jalen.
Was this mini camp or training camp?
Rookie OTAs.
Okay, got you.
And then the week, and then when the vets came.
Okay.
So it was camp. Yeah, it was like what they about to do. No, it was like what they doing. What they doing right now.
Okay, got you.
So yeah, bro. But I was real cool with Jalen. Me and Jalen were real cool. We met at the Manning Passing Academy in 2018. Eli, Peyton, and Archie, they do like a camp in New Orleans for like all the upperclassmen in college, and they invite everybody to Thibodeau. I forget what Thibodeau, not university maybe, but they invite everybody out there for like a few days, and then we meet. But I met him after that sophomore year of college, and this was after he had got benched for Tua. So me and him, we automatically clicked. Already like, oh yeah, like you feel me? We was like that. So it was cool being able to play with him with Philly. That's my boy. Like whenever he come out here to LA, hit me up.
I do want to ask you, how do you like stay level-headed or stay confident and keep going after dealing with all this adversity, like in college? Coaching change after you're excelling with this coach and this system and everything. Coaching change to COVID breaking out, not being able to work out for, combines or all this stuff. And then getting opportunities with teams and not even getting a chance to showcase your talent, showcase all this, trials and tribulations.
He's asking how haven't you killed anybody?
Stay level-headed, like something like that. Like, I deal with stuff, but this is like insane. Like just being able to stay positive.
Livelihood.
Yeah. How do you do it?
It's I feel like it's a part of it. Just sports in general is it's a different animal. So especially being NFL, that's the politics in the NFL are. Like you'll be amazed with like different little stories. It'd be like huh? Because being a spectator, being a fan is like it's easier just to watch. You feel me? But being in it is like it makes you look at it differently, and especially me being like who I am, being able to see things differently. I'm able to see it for what it is. Exactly. There's some people in the league that like you feel me, or some people that's not in the league that if you ask them these same questions, they might be a totally different person. You feel me? To where like they gonna answer.
I watched Jamarcus Russell interview. Look, he think that man don't take responsibility for nothing. He was the number one pick and got put out the league. So that's your fault.
That's insane.
They gave you $50 million and said, go, take your money and go.
Yeah. So it it's just kind of seeing it through. I mean, I feel like at this point I've been through so much. It's kind of like nothing can really like break me because it's like it done been so much that's out of my control.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Even in Pop Warner dealing with politics, even getting to high school, and then Caleb coming to Sarah. So now I gotta.
So you've been dealing with this your whole life. It's nothing new.
Like, I can't control that. You feel me? Like that's all on the higher up. So I like I said, I was at 15 years old. I learned that. You feel me? So just dealing with different little things like that kind of helped me now with kind of just understanding like it's all a part of it. You got
God
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it don't really talent doesn't really necessarily matter.
Yeah, it's really
at a certain level, it's all about who you know and how you know them,
connects and everything like that. Yeah,
agents.
And what also helps is that
him a favor, etc. Like just different things that you can't as a player you can't control. So that's why I've been doing other little stuff just to kind of like brand myself as a person deeper than a football player because. As a football player, you wear a helmet all day. So other than like your tier one players, which is like Tom Brady's, Odell's, you probably don't know what nobody else look like. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it could be somebody on this little box right here that's like a 10-year vet, and you probably be like,
don't even know what he looks like or anything.
Don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I went to where was I at? Dave and Buster's in Hollywood. And Bobby Wagner was right in front of me. Like me,
wouldn't even be able to point. Because
I'm just a next level fan. Like I know these players, right? I know the players, but nobody else realized this was Bobby Wagner. First of all, he had on cargo shorts, and his leg is this goddamn big.
It's like you don't know that he's an athlete,
bro. Either he a football player or he ride his bike a lot. He do the stairs.
But like you just was going into, doing other things to, build up your brand and everything. Could you touch on that? Like what outside of football, what else are you doing, with your life and, trying to build up your brand and everything?
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of different background acting things, doing a few commercials, etc. So just trying to show my face, bro. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, I'm 24, you know, and I feel like I know a lot of older NFL players, whether that be still playing or retired, that, you know, they just trying to figure it out, you know, because at the end of the day, you play football, you do one thing for so long, you know, you kind of see yourself as just that, you know what I'm saying? So for me, just trying to do things where I can show my face.
Yeah.
Because I want my face to be, I want my brand to be, your brand is your face, you feel me? So like, if you want your face,
exactly.
You know,
because what's crazy is when it comes to football, an old man in football is 30 years old, basically.
No,
right?
Yeah.
So let's say if somebody's blessed enough to play into their 32 or something. Say somebody's blessed enough. Now you realize, okay, well,
I got my whole life ahead of me.
I got a whole. What else I'm gonna do? So it's good that you're like, regardless of what happened with CFL, or if you ever get called up, you still planting seeds because you've done background on a couple shows that we watched, by the way.
Yeah, he was telling me you was a background All-American. I was gonna ask you about that, but
I'm in that thing. I'm in homecoming, and I'm in
homecoming too.
Yep. How'd you get in that?
I think they had like a little. I think one of my old coaches from Inglewood, he sent my dad something. I think he saw like an ad for like All-American, looking for players, football players, yada yada yada. So he sent that to me, and I think it was at a field in Glendale. I forget the name of it. Went out there. As soon as I walked out there, like it was, I didn't even know nobody, but it was like it's hundreds of people because they all trying to audition. And one of the dudes was like, Khalil Tate here, and I'm like, I'm already on some like, bro, like, chill
out. I'm here work.
I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get in, get out, man. I like being, you feel me, like
get my little money and go.
So he's like, Khalil Tate here. So I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah. So he say that, and then like, everybody that's out there is a former player, or you know.
Yeah, they all got football background and stuff.
So they all like, nobody saying that, but it's like a lot of people looking at me. I was like, all right. So I ended up doing some drills. And it's crazy because one of the main dude, Justin Skinner, he does Game Changing. He's like the head dude for Game Changing. And he was like, you Khalil, right? I'm like, yeah. He like I used to play. I used to be a kicker with the Eagles. He's like, man, I'm familiar with you. Yada yada yada. I'm like, oh yeah. He like, yeah. He like come see me afterwards, right? I did one. We was doing drills. Right? I did one little drill. He was like, yeah, you good, bro. I could have left. I could have just left after that, but I was like, let me stay.
Yeah.
So ended up staying, and then they ended up reaching out to me. I ended up doing that, and then they also ended up hitting me up because doing background stuff is all about being available.
Exactly.
Yeah. How much are you available? How much time do you have? So they ended up hitting me like, yeah, can you make it to one of our studios? We about to film Homecoming. I wasn't doing that, so I'm like, all right, Yeah, so go up there and then it was,
one of my boys was doing some background for Homecoming as well for the baseball players and everything.
Okay, yeah, I got a few friends that do that too. I wish I could get on that because I used to play baseball back in the day. You feel me? So I could do a little.
I mean, I'm sure you could if you really want to get into that.
Bro, because on All-American on Homecoming, I was. I was a tennis player, bro.
Yeah, you was a tennis player.
On set, they was all like, "You above tennis player?"
I need to go back and watch and see, bro. I didn't even.
Bro, he was out there playing tennis.
I'm in there. I'm in the scene where they. I'm in the episode. I don't know if you watch. I don't want to ruin that, but it's the episode where there's like a threat to the school. It's
bomb threat. Yeah, I seen that episode.
Yeah, and basically we all in quarantine wherever we are.
Yeah, on the little.
And I'm on the courts. It's crazy, bro, because they filmed that on top of a parking lot.
That was on a parking lot?
That set is a parking lot, bro. It's a parking structure.
Damn, I didn't know that.
None of this, bro.
I did not know that. It looks like it.
Most of the stuff you see on TV is not like they don't have.
That's insane.
They create location, bro.
I mean, that's
for the studios.
So
they create
dope.
Mm-hmm.
Location.
Right. Yep, so yeah, man. It's I've been doing that. Just trying to do different things, trying to meet different people, and trying to put myself in different rooms so that when I do eventually get my NFL opportunity, which I kind of still haven't gotten yet.
People already gonna know your face.
From there, I'm just gonna kind of merge
making relationships,
and then I feel like that's gonna kind of put me ahead of a lot of people that the people that play in the league that you that are really good, but you might not know because you just don't know what their face looks like.
I don't see their face; they just strictly football.
I'm trying to put my face out there so that everything just is. I kind of can just merge what I want to do with what I already do.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so. For you, so we touched football. We touched where you're going forward. We touched like the new ventures you have now for entertainment. For your it's cool. We still see your face.
You're good. You're good.
The sun probably coming down, but yeah, for your entertainment, you hit me about a couple TV shows you like. You said Power, Snowfall, BMF.
Hey man,
I watch everything. I watch a lot. I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. So my good brother right here, he just finished. He binge watched Snowfall in 2 weeks. The entire series.
Watching 1 week.
He was at home for a week.
I know how your eyes was looking at the end of that.
Dude, I swear I'm still kind of messed up by it. And Cam was telling me like you're gonna watch it like that, and it's gonna just like hit you different. Like you're gonna like, really emotional and stuff. It's just like.
Because you watched it fast, so
it's like I watched season 1. You
watched it like a comic book.
Break,
like
and
then
no, it was literally back to back. I watched seasons in 1 day type stuff. Like it was just crazy because like
you know how it feels. You know how it feels when Franklin got his money took, and now we gotta wait a whole year to see what happens.
Yeah, but
he waited 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, just seeing that that ending. Like, how did you feel about the ending? Do you feel like they should have did a different ending, or did you actually like it?
So it's crazy, bro. There's a GQ article with Damson Idris where he speaks on like I don't know if you guys saw, but he speaks on like the alternate endings and like what they wanted to do. It's real. I'll send it to you guys. It's real good, but it's real good. But no, it was. I don't know how to feel about it. Still, I mean, I feel like it sucks that it had to happen, but I mean, it was only a few other ways that that was gonna end. Either he was gonna ride away into the sun, he was gonna be to jail or gonna be alive. Yeah. So, but they say what he was in was a drug dealer's hell.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And
that's why he lost his mind.
And when everybody tell me they didn't like the ending, I'll be telling them I feel like it's realistic though. Like I really feel like it can go that way.
Unfortunately.
It's unfortunate, And then just
we wanted to see him just win.
That's what I'm saying. I said I want to see him win, but that's like some fairy tale shit. Like, could that really happen?
It's crazy, bro. They said Damson Idris said he said it's crazy because obviously they knew how the ending was gonna end throughout all seasons. And he was like, it's crazy because no matter how much Damson Idris or no matter how much Franklin did, we still was always like.
So wait, that was he
gonna be good. He gonna be good
from the beginning. That was gonna be the ending to it. Okay.
Well, I don't know about the beginning, but like
they had
season
that.
3, 4, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they had an idea.
He said it's crazy because no matter how much bad Franklin did, like people were still always like, nah, he good. Like we're gonna be good. Like and he tried to. He said they wanted to paint him as like a villain, but like people loved the character so much that
they couldn't do it.
Couldn't see it. Like it's like nah, he chilling. Like
even after, hey, bro, he killed the locksmith.
No, that was
crazy.
That was unnecessary.
And we was like that. I was like, damn, bro's down
and
bad.
We were still like,
called for.
We saw him kill the locksmith, and we were still like,
I was like, yeah, bro.
What's next?
I can't root for you no more. We needed that.
I still wanted him to get his money, man.
I was like, yeah, bro, you got what you deserve at this point.
It's kind of like,
I think that was probably
the final straw.
That was when he did that. That was like, oh yeah,
I've got nothing else.
Because even when he killed Teddy's father, like I was able to forgive him. I felt like it was a get back.
that was get back.
I felt like it was a get back. I was like a father for a father, and I was like, okay, you took $73 million.
I forgave him.
Yeah, it's like his dad lived a good life. He lived a good life, good, But
I hear you though. When you said Damson, they knew what was gonna happen because like with Power, Omari, who plays Ghost, he said he always knew Ghost was gonna get killed. He said he knew that was the fate. He said he always knew it. That's what they told him. They told him from the beginning. This guy, he's gonna try to get out. He's gonna keep trying to get out. Every time he try to get out, they pull him back, and then when he finally, there's no enemies, there's no rivals, there's nothing. You know what happened to him. He says he didn't like how it happened. He said he would have preferred him losing his life and basically trading his to save Tommy. He said he would have like Tommy tied up in something, and the only thing I can save him is if I sacrifice myself. That's what he wanted. How did you feel about how? I mean, I know Ghost was a couple years ago, but how do you feel about how Ghost went out?
I mean, Tariq, I never was a big fan of Tariq. I mean, with Ghost, he kind of like, you feel me? I feel a little more like grace for him, you know. But I always feel like he messed a lot up for that show.
They wanted to make Ghost a villain too.
Yeah. Starting with Raina, like that was like the domino, and like, you feel me? What ended up affecting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that changed everything.
Tariq, he didn't. I don't like how he. I mean, he's better now. He's more mature, I guess. You
watch the show now? Man, he's turning into his father, man. Huh? He's who his father wanted him to be. Aside from the drugs, obviously, he's selling the drugs because he has to now. Right. But him going to school and getting his business done, that's all his dad wanted. Go to school, little mama. Wanted. That's all he wanted.
He wanted to be in the game so bad.
Yeah, he didn't even need to.
No, bruh.
He had it good.
You live in a penthouse in Manhattan, New York, and you mad. I want to be mad. So just a little bit before we wrap up with you. You know, we got the playoffs going on, NBA playoffs. What you thinking about that? I know our boys lost last night. My boy's a Heat fan, so he's doing okay.
Fan, so you know, I like the Lakers too, but you feel me? I'm a Heat fan. You know.
Yeah. So you like D-Wade?
Yeah, D-Wade was my favorite player ever. But you know, now we got Himmy.
You got a finals prediction? You got like who you liking right now?
I mean, Lakers, of course. You know, it's gonna be a tough series.
Yeah, very.
They can just shoot so well. You know, you can't really defend that. You know, like even the shots they make, it's like you can't do it.
One shot Steph hit, and as he shot, he released it. He fell to the ground. It's like, what you gonna do? You can't do anything with it. You just gotta pray he misses, right?
Insane.
So you obviously you like in the Lakers.
I say the Lakers, man. On the East, I think one of them play tonight, right?
Yeah, Boston and Philly play.
Boston and Philly just started.
I'm not too fond of Philly.
I don't.
And I don't want to say Boston because they was in last year.
Just roll with the Heat, man. Just roll with the Heat.
Yeah,
I mean, say that?
They look
I know we're dealing with our injuries, but you feel me?
I don't want to say the Heat, but I mean, I don't want to say the Celtics, but I feel like it'll probably end up being it just because I feel like they have
the talent.
They've been there.
Mm-hmm.
You see my jacket, bruh? It says 17 times.
That's
right?
about to turn to 18.
We got 17. They got 17.
Yeah,
check them up, nigga.
Let's
play. Come on, man. Okay. Let's break the tie.
I hope Jimmy Butler gets healthy. I don't know if he's playing this game, but I hope he gets healthy and then he's able to. Because I think health is always what makes the playoffs fun. I think, people get injured.
See everybody at their best going up against each other.
Right. So I hope. I would want the Heat just because I feel like that'd be an easier opponent for us.
That's so disrespectful. Oh, that's crazy.
However, I will say I say Boston. Boston is Boston would be like ideal as far as for LeBron's legacy, Lakers, Celtics, 18.
That's the NBA.
That'd be a lot of views.
That's part of the NBA script for sure.
The script is out. You know about the politics.
Man.
I heard about him.
But
what you listening to right now, music wise?
Baby Stone Gorillas.
Baby Stone.
I like Buddy.
Yeah.
Mike and Keys. I don't know. I don't really like too much right now. A lot of R&B. Joyce Rice.
Mm-hmm.
She actually did the. I don't know if you guys seen the new Proud Family or the reboot.
Yeah.
She does the intro.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. What's her name?
Joyce Rice.
Okay.
Joyce.
I'm gonna check her out.
Okay. Definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, she has some really good music. But a lot more R&B.
Okay.
A lot more R&B. DJ Quick about to drop an album soon.
Yeah. Hey, Sugar Free dropped not too long ago.
Yeah, Sugar Cane. Yeah.
Sugar Cane. Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah. IT, you got anything for him before we get this
without that one, I was gonna say before we close out, we got this segment that we like to do that we starting to bring back. We basically put our guests on the hot seat. We ask them a tough question. We just put you on the hot seat. We sometimes put you on a timer. We're not gonna put you on a timer today, but Cam got the question, so he's gonna ask you.
All right. So you know that of course the podcast is called The Hot Seat.
Okay.
Now, my question for you is, since you are an athlete, and you are from LA,
right,
and you kind of know all these people,
yeah.
Who are the top 5? The top 5 athletes that come out of LA. That could be any sport, football, basketball, whatever. It could be either.
I gotta go no order. I gotta say no order first.
No order. Say that. All right.
Yeah, it could be top 5 that ever come out of LA, or the top 5 you've ever, or the top 5 you've ever played with or against. Or, top 5 in total. Either you can pick whatever you want.
Got you. I'm gonna start off with D-Jack.
Okay. That's a good one. There we go. Hall of Famer. Deshaun.
Then I go Black Mamba.
Yeah.
D'Anthony. Yep.
Jordan Canada. She went to Windward. She played with the Sparks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Oh, Jordan, yes.
Nah, bro. I remember.
I didn't know she was from LA.
Remember in high school, bro, Sarah, I played against them. I think it was my freshman year. I think she was a junior. We played against them at I forget, Ontario, I think, wherever the game was. Yeah. But we played against them. Sarah, we was good in girls basketball. Coach Hallie. But, she was like Kobe, bro. Like,
bruh.
She was like really good. And I remember like thinking, because I remember we was good, but I'm like, we gonna whip them. Yeah. And like they had a girl that was just different. I'm like, who is this? You feel me? Yeah. And I think she ended up going to UCLA, right? And going to UCLA.
I can't remember.
I want to say UCLA.
It was Pac-12 for sure.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Yeah, she ended up going to UCLA, but she with the Sparks now, so I say her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I definitely put her in there because she, gotta give a shout out to women's basketball.
Yeah. My cousin,
I like that.
Play.
I want to say.
Oh yeah, his cousin is going to SC next year, #1 player in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juju Watkins. I don't know if you heard of her.
Okay, I was like, yeah, I'm familiar with her. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Jordan went to UCLA.
That's what's up.
He went to Windward. What?
Windward, yeah. And I feel like it's hard for me. I went to Sarah, so like I say like Woody, George, and Marquise, but I can't say all 3.
Yeah,
so
you gotta pick 2 more.
From high school, I would have to say George. I had to put George Farmer.
Bro,
okay. If you're not familiar, just watch the highlights and you'll be like, "Oh, this is who you talking about." He was, he was
George in high school, man.
Physical specimen, bro.
Right. George Farmer was, bro.
I put George, and then I think, I think I gotta say myself.
Yourself? All right, yeah. See,
that's why
don't be humble, bro. I'm telling you.
He's been humble. I don't know how long we've been on. He's been humble this whole time.
Gloated once or nothing.
I didn't want to put myself. I can't think of no
respect to that, bro.
Bro, you were all through the CIF record books. You were in the Pac-12 record books.
Yeah.
What more can we say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
Hey, man.
So that's 5. You said DJ.
D'Anthony, Jordan Canada,
George Farmer,
and myself,
and Mr. October.
Yeah. Speaking of Mr. October, you're a Scorpio too. All 3 of us Scorpios. You feel me?
Yeah.
Shout out.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's why this clicks so easy, man.
It's like a gumbo pot.
Yeah.
Mix it up. All right. So one thing that we're doing, I'm sure you watched the pivot, all the smoke and everything, where they ask, "Look, who do you think we should get next?" But the rule is, if you suggest them, you got to help us get them. So, who's the person?
Who should we interview next?
Quentin Jackson.
All right.
Hey.
All right.
You hear that, right?
You hear that? We gonna tag him. You gotta help us get him, Khalil.
You gotta show up.
Help us get
Got you, man.
All right. Hey, but we really appreciate you coming on the podcast, being our first interview, making history for our podcast, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Man, thank y'all for having me, bro. It was an
appreciate you, my brother.
Honor to come and chop game with y'all, man. It's always a good feeling to have a good conversation, man.
And I'm wishing you the absolute best of luck in Canada, bro. I hope you kill it, because obviously we all know, like, there's been people who went to Canada and they end up in the camp, like Nick Usher. Usher was in, I think, Montreal, I think.
Yeah, that's right,
and he ended up in the Raiders camp, but he got caught in that COVID thing like you did, and they sent him home. But, bruh,
just remain
hoping you get another opportunity, bro. Just keep working.
Keep working hard, you know, blessings coming,
my brother.
I'm
proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
The city's proud of you. The family's proud of you. Everybody's proud of you, bro. Just keep pushing.
Keep representing.
Love, man. Go Lakers. Go Dodgers. Happy Cinco de Mayo.